Here's a thought that might make you uncomfortable. Your body is storing fat on purpose. Following a specific chemical instruction it receives multiple times a day, and every diet you've ever tried has been completely ignoring it. Today we're talking about insulin, one of the most influential hormones when it comes to your body weight, your fat storage, and your ability to actually burn fat as fuel. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this hormone might be the reason you've been stuck, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting today. Let's start with the basics, so we're all on the same page. Insulin is produced by your pancreas, and its primary job is to manage the glucose, which is sugar, circulating in your bloodstream. Every single time you eat carbohydrates or sugar, your blood glucose rises. Your pancreas detects that rise and releases insulin to pull that glucose out of your blood and shuttle it into your cells for energy. On the surface, that sounds completely normal and healthy, and it is when it's working correctly. But here's where things start to go wrong for most people. Insulin has a secondary function that almost nobody talks about. It is the master fat storage hormone. When insulin levels are elevated in your bloodstream, your body is biochemically locked out of burning stored fat. Think about that for a second. Your body physically cannot access your fat stores as an energy source when insulin is high. It's like having money in a savings account, but the bank locks you out anytime you have cash in your wallet. The fat is there. You just can't touch it. Now, imagine eating 3, 4, or 5 times a day. Every meal containing bread, rice, pasta, fruit juice, or processed snacks. Your insulin levels are spiking repeatedly throughout the day, and they're staying elevated for hours at a time. In that scenario, you have maybe a small window each day, if any, where your insulin drops low enough to actually allow fat burning to happen. And then people wonder why they can't lose weight, even though they're eating relatively healthy. But it gets worse. Over time, if you're constantly bombarding your cells with high insulin, something called insulin resistance begins to develop. Your cells essentially start ignoring insulin's signal because they've been overwhelmed by it for so long. So your pancreas has to produce even more insulin just to get the same effect. Now, you have chronically high insulin levels in your blood. Your fat cells are being told to store more and more fat, and your body is becoming increasingly resistant to letting any of it go. This is a slow-moving metabolic disaster, and it affects far more people than the diabetes statistics would suggest. Here's a fact that should concern you. You can be insulin resistant for years, sometimes over a decade, before your blood sugar levels even show up as abnormal on a standard test. During that entire time, your body is struggling, your weight is climbing, your energy is crashing, and you might be getting told by doctors that your labs look fine. They're looking at the wrong marker. Fasting insulin is the test you want, and most physicians don't order it routinely. So what does chronically elevated insulin actually feel like in your daily life? You get hungry very quickly after eating. You experience strong cravings for sugar and refined carbohydrates, especially in the afternoon. You feel mentally foggy after meals. You carry excess fat, particularly around your midsection. You feel tired despite sleeping enough. You get irritable or shaky if you go too long without food. Sound familiar? These aren't character flaws. These are symptoms of a hormonal imbalance that can be corrected. Now, let's talk about what actually moves the needle. The most powerful lever you have to lower insulin and restore sensitivity is reducing the foods that spike insulin the most. This primarily means refined carbohydrates and added sugars, white bread, white rice, pasta, pastries, sugary drinks, fruit juices, and most packaged snack foods are the biggest culprits. Replacing these with whole foods, vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbohydrates has a profound effect on insulin dynamics. Fiber is particularly interesting here because it dramatically slows the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream, which results in a much gentler, smaller insulin response. This is why eating an apple is metabolically very different from drinking apple juice, even though the sugar content might be similar on paper. Meal timing also matters more than most people realize. Every time you eat, you trigger an insulin response. So the simple act of reducing how frequently you eat gives your insulin levels more time to come back down between meals. This is the core mechanism behind why intermittent fasting has become so widely discussed in metabolic health circles. It's not magic. It's just giving your body the extended low insulin window it needs to access stored fat. Even shifting from 5 or 6 small meals per day to 2 or 3 solid meals can make a meaningful difference over time. Sleep is another underrated piece of this puzzle. Just 1 or 2 nights of poor sleep can measurably increase insulin resistance. Cortisol, your stress hormone, rises when you're sleep deprived, and elevated cortisol directly impairs insulin function. So if you're staying up late, waking up exhausted, and wondering why your diet isn't working, your sleep quality may be silently undermining everything else you're doing. Exercise also plays a major role, but not just for the calorie burn. Resistance training, in particular, is one of the most effective tools for improving insulin sensitivity, because muscle tissue is one of the primary places your body stores glucose. The more lean muscle you carry, the more insulin sensitive your body becomes overall. Even a 20-minute walk after meals has been shown to blunt the post-meal insulin spike meaningfully. Chronic stress is another piece that people overlook. When you're constantly stressed, your cortisol stays elevated, which keeps blood sugar elevated, which keeps insulin elevated. This is why people under chronic stress tend to accumulate abdominal fat specifically. It's hormonally driven, not just caloric. Stress management isn't soft advice. It's metabolic medicine. Here's where I want to bring this all together for you. When you focus on fixing insulin first, something remarkable happens. The relentless hunger starts to ease up because your blood sugar is stable. The cravings lose their grip because you're no longer on the blood sugar roller coaster. Your energy becomes more consistent throughout the day, and your body finally gets the sustained low insulin window it needs to actually tap into fat stores. The weight loss that felt impossible starts to become almost effortless by comparison, not because you found some secret trick, but because you removed the hormonal barrier that was blocking your body from doing what it's naturally designed to do. This is why 2 people can follow the exact same diet, and one loses weight while the other doesn't. Their insulin sensitivity is different. Their metabolic starting point is different. Ignoring that and just telling everyone to eat less and move more is why the conventional approach fails so many people. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Before you count another calorie or add another workout, ask yourself whether your insulin is working for you or against you. Get your fasting insulin tested. Start reducing refined carbohydrates. Give your body longer breaks between meals. Prioritize sleep and manage your stress load. These aren't hacks. These are foundational. Fix the hormone first, and everything else gets dramatically easier. If this changed the way you think about weight loss, share it with someone who's been stuck despite trying everything. And subscribe, because next we're going in deep on exactly which foods wreck your insulin the fastest. Some of them are probably things you eat every single day.